Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guess. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. I swear I'm going to get on here super early, eventually. There are going to be some changes in real life. It will make things better, and it will make things easier for me to work on the channel more. So that'll be good. I'm kind of excited. We'll see how it goes. More on that probably within a month. But we'll see. But today, oh man, wait, where? What is happening? Sorry, my shit's all crazy. Bunch of protesters bust into a police conference. We get into some of the mess in Europe. And a few other little things. But, without further ado, let's get into it.
Protesters burst in and take over police press conference in Madison, Wisconsin regarding yesterday's incident.
I don't want to hear anything you can say. You're going to say the same thing you all say every time a black body gets shot down in this city. This is a corrupt city. That's right. Have no fear. The anti-zombie is here. You understand me? You won't be able to talk today because I'm going to keep talking.
Why is this allowed? Again, I'm all for the right to protest and all that, but this is a police conference. This is disturbing the peace. This is not anything that they are likely licensed for. What do we do? And even right now it's fine, but
And walk my walk too. I told these young people back here on our way here that we have the power. Not that badge, not that weapon. We have the power. The city of Madison is corrupt. From the VA.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Madison, Wisconsin was corrupt. The simple fact
I wouldn't either.
that I don't think this is based in reality, this is just talking points, because it gets worse.
to the
Very emotional, yes.
The Department of Independent Monitors. We don't want any of that talk. You given us this speech with "You'll deliver justice." Oh, we've seen the camera. We've seen it was a knife in this young man's hand. We don't want to hear.
yeah, there was a knife in his hand. You've seen it on camera. This is one of the things that kills me. Everyone fought to get body cams and surveillance cams and all these things in a lot of these cities, a lot of these big cities, especially West Coast blue cities, to prove people's innocence. What happened? It proved they were guilty and worse. So what happens? They turn off the cameras in a lot of these cities. We'll get to that shortly, I think.
Hear that today? We didn't want to hear it.
Whoa. You mean to say you knew about the blade in the guy's hands, and that doesn't change it? It's just like the Michael Brown scenario, where they had all the witnesses saying, he said, hands up, don't shoot. I think I'm getting, this is the correct incident. Hands up, don't shoot. And then later on they say, oh, the witnesses that saw that weren't actually there. The autopsy reveals, no, he's reaching for the gun as he's getting hit. They say, okay, well, you know what? We're not trying to hear all that. It's it's the overarching theme that black men are in danger in police interactions. So we're going to go ahead and just keep on pushing that scenario as if he did say, hands up, don't shoot. I don't care about that this guy was holding a knife. I don't care if he actually was armed. It's the narrative that is, oh, you guys are corrupt, so I'm going with that.
When they put their neck on George Floyd's neck, we don't their foot on George Floyd's neck, and we don't want
It was a knee, not a foot.
to hear it today.
There was no foot on his neck. What?
Honestly, there wasn't a foot on anything on his neck. It was like his shoulder, or the small of his back, or some such.
What do you have to say about that? Oh, you don't get to talk, I said. Go ahead. That's right. Oh, give me this microphone.
And again, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not a
again,
violent,
these are
blast
police.
Anybody because of their color, police force, because they let this guy just go on this rant forever.
And excuse me. That's right. My name is Carlos Dixon. I represent APTAP.
I hate the body language of if this is the chief. then it must be a very... Does anybody know Madison, Wisconsin? Does it have a Democrat mayor? Because obviously they're going to appoint a very, very weak individual as a chief. Yeah, hands behind the back, head down. He is terrified of this guy.
All power to all people. Zero power to Zionists.
Zionist or people, you just said all power to all people. How can you then say zero power to any other people when you said all power to all people? You're a retarded person.
Zero power to capitalists.
Those are people.
Zero.
See, this is what makes me think that he just has parroted talking points. What does that have to do with anything? If you're going to be angry at a situation, be angry at the situation. Corrupt cops, okay. Police brutality, okay. There's no body cams, let's address it. A lot of things that we could talk about here. But once you start going off on that over there, not that you disagree or agree with anything he's saying, but it's so irrelevant that makes me believe you don't have a thought in that head.
Power to colonialism. What you are doing right now.
Colonial? What? This is like if Reddit had a bot. Like if you just made a clod bot, just say, hey.
Okay, this guy's not the police chief. The police chief is actually black.
This is what it is. Yeah, what does colonial has to do with it? Nothing.
In this city is continuing the disgusting nature of colonialism, the disgusting nature of imperialism. Look up the definition of imperialism.
Because he doesn't know it. Can someone tell him? He wants you to look it up so he can know what it is, so he can start speaking the opposite of nonsense.
That's like when somebody said, like, oh,
I don't know why I
used
use the double negative just to say since, but we'll just keep going with it.
So define fascist, and she was like, no, you look it up. You look it up. I know what it is. You look it up. It's like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. But again, people are proudly paired talking points because they think this makes them socially just or righteous or part of the cool crowd. This is, I can almost guarantee you this guy posted this on his social media.
It's all within the policies, which means when these police officers come down on the street and they decide that they want to take the life of another brown body, there is no oversight for that. That's imperialism.
I mean, that's not imperialism. One is not imperialism, and two, there is oversight. You're seeing the oversight right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man signed up to be an enforcer of imperialism. Is there anybody
he didn't.
want to say anything? It doesn't matter what, okay. The people
Okay, he thinks he's the Rock all of a sudden.
This guy thinks he's a rock. Oh man, you know what the funny thing is though, is I think Asmongold said recently is like never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. And honestly, maybe this cop was in the right to do this. Maybe because I was thinking, I was like, okay, why let this guy snatch the mic and do all this stuff? Like just shut him up. Like don't let him go on this thing. Don't waste all our time. But you know what? Maybe he was like, I can tell by his vernacular. He's about to make a damn fool out of himself. So you know what? I'm gonna step aside. Go.
Oh, never mind.
Means take 20 minutes. Let me.
I don't know. I guess that black police chief was the previous one. Yeah. Okay. I guess Sean Barnes was the previous one, and now this guy John Patterson. Wait, why does it keep switching on me? What the fuck is happening? Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Oh god, female assistant chief. Yeah, so here we go. Became acting chief in early 2025. Permanent position chief was offered by the Police and Fire Commission in the fall. That's horrifying. That's Pat. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. Sorry, my screen turned into Luffy all of a sudden.
So everybody on ABC 12 can hear what the left has to say about this police shooting. Like,
retarded nonsense?
If you shut him up, you look like you're silencing a guy that has a point. If you let him speak, you make everybody realize, oh, maybe they're all just idiots.
He's retarded.
Come up here. The people want to talk. The people want to talk. Come up here. This is our press conference. And I'll put my lips all over this microphone.
You went from colonialism, imperialism to saying my lips are on the microphone because this is the people's thing. The cop's grinning. Yeah.
This the people's
The funny
mic.
part about this is like the Reddit, and I think this is all bots, but they say the mic match is oh so good, and the police union will make sure nothing happens to the police. Oh, let them cook. It's like they didn't even see the video. It's like ChatGPT just glazed this based on what everybody else is saying and stuff. They say I appreciate him and that they allowed him to speak. He fell off pretty hard though as soon as he realized people were listening. A shame. Yeah, he had the opportunity and fumbled. To be fair, he didn't expect to get that far. And sad to say is, all the
Exactly.
Redditors are like, yeah, he's saying what I would say.
Exactly. Just run up there, take over, before that people realize that you're full of shit and retarded. They'll have shut you up by then anyway. So let's just do that. Hold on a second.
I like what this is. Like, oh, wait, don't fumble this opportunity. It's because they're all the same level of understanding.
Because I used to use that
law enforcement looks like. If a guy is crazy,
same method when I was younger.
The law enforcement has to end them. It's never gonna look good. I think over in Orange County, California, very recently a similar thing. Guy running around with a blade, having a mental episode, and unfortunately the police lit him up, and I think they're gone as well. We don't want to see that. But there's really no alternative once it's gotten that bad. They say, oh, we should have had a social worker. We should have got them more assistance. Okay, by all means. You don't want incidents like this to happen, and you're very, very up in arms on social media about it. You live in the area. Go volunteer yourself in your free time to help people that have violent pasts, suffering from schizophrenia, substance abuse issues. Get your ass off the internet and get out there in person and help these individuals. But if the extent of your goodwill is shaming the police for having to open fire so they don't get bladed up by an insane person on the street, you don't mean anything. You don't live in the real world. You are this keyboard justice warrior, and you are going to be the same thing that guy charging the mic in Wisconsin was like, oh, this is about imperialism and enforcing the what was the other thing?
Which is exactly the same stumble that the guy who went up on stage did.
Colonialism, that's what you signed up for. It's like, nah, you guys are just throwing adult temper tantrums. I'm sorry to say that what worked in high school, what worked in college, when you made a diorama and a poster board saying, these are the bad things that happen in a historic event, and I'm mad at them, so everybody in my college course is paying here to listen to me, the teacher's being paid to listen to me, so obviously I'm making an impact because that's how important I am. No. We are past that. No more games, no performative activism. You're in the real world. You either actually want to make an impact and change things, or you just want to complain so maybe the adults do something about it, and we're just tired of hearing it.
At least one person is dead, more than a dozen others.
All right. So that being said, hey, good morning, Angie. How you doing? Move that over there. All right. So we're going to get into some of the things that happened mostly across Europe over the weekend. People doing things in the name of God is good. AI Asmin Part 2 after this one.
Injured after a car drove into a crowd at a pride parade in Berlin.
The suspect, Abdul Balaut, before this, he was convicted of trying to join ISIS.
Did he say his name was Abdul Bailout?
Black or white decision. Wedge issue, or is it a real issue? Islamic immigration, Islam being incompatible with Western civilization, Islam in general. I think we might be at the point where we need a litmus test. But certainly Islamic terrorism. If you turned on the TV or if you've watched podcasts, you would believe that the real problem, and obviously our hearts and our hearts are with and our prayers go to the people of Berlin after this last attack, another one in Paris. But hey, those are outliers. Real problem is right-wing extremism.
Yeah,
And we won't ignore what our intelligence
Of course.
agencies have determined to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy is terrorism.
We can just go back through all of the recent
It's funny, like, do we not remember how all this happened? I can't believe the left doesn't remember saying that white supremacy had the most terrorism, and then how many terrorist attacks did white supremacists commit? None. Absolutely none. Absolutely none.
Mass shootings. It's the right. It's the right. It's the right.
We are
It's literally not.
no one. We are everyone.
Is it Juggalo movie?
And we are invisible.
Oh, is that crappy Watchmen show?
Will block far-right agitators from traveling to Britain for that event. Because we will not allow people to come to
Richard
the UK
Spencer gained
to
weight.
threaten our communities.
Hamas is
Take
cool,
on our
though.
streets.
The Director General of Asia has warned about a range of threats, be it anti-Semitism, the rise of right-wing extremist groups as well.
And the funny thing is, they consider radical Islam to be right wing, which, from a religious standpoint, I understand that. However, the left thinks they're using them, and they think they're using the left. We'll see which one wins out in the end. My hope, neither.
They are going to say we're terrorists. We are not. What we are is a group of individuals who refuse to stand by and let world leaders strip away the rights and wealth of their citizens.
Who is he? We need to know now.
Every single extremist-related murder between 2022 and 2024, 3 years straight, was carried out by right-winger. Zero by left-winger.
That's not true.
We need to infiltrate further.
The most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland. is
White women.
supremacy.
White liberal women.
Now, before, this all brings us to Berlin. As we know right now, as of this broadcast, one person was killed, 29 injured. Car, as they say, drove into a parade. But before that, does anyone actually believe that? So before we get to the idea of this being a wedge issue or
I would hope
distraction
no.
or I see that a lot on the Marxist right. Does anybody actually believe, has anyone ever in their life actually believed that white supremacy is the greatest terror threat to the United States or to the UK? Because I think if you believe that, I think you're a very silly person.
Yes.
I think it would be an incredible leap. Like, you would have to place your agenda above any logic or reasoning to believe that white supremacy...
You know what's extra freaky? You merely suggest on on YouTube that I do AI Asman Part 2. I open up a new YouTube screen on a different monitor, and what's the first thing that pops up? Have you hacked my system, Angie?
Supremacy is the single biggest terrorist threat. So this brings us to Berlin and Paris. Just happened this morning. Another terrorist attack. Guess who?
We begin tonight with breaking news overseas. At least one person is dead, more than a dozen others injured after a car drove into a crowd at a pride parade in Berlin, one of the most popular and largest in Europe. Hundreds of thousands of people coming to celebrate what's known in Germany as Christopher Street Day.
Now, I'm going to get to the real crux of this, the reactions, what's really insane. Now, you have German activists saying that they really just hoped it wasn't exactly who it ended up being. They really hoped that this would finally be one of those Christian right-wing extremists. No dice. The suspect, Abdul Balaut.
Ball out?
Yeah.
Abdul balls out.
Mother. By the way, before this, he was convicted of trying to join ISIS.
Shouldn't that be like a sign?
1 year, 10
No,
months,
he's probably good.
Released on probation. Good behavior. Well, how do you?
And this is the crazy thing. This is the guy that plowed. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that plowed through the Pride Parade, right? Is that what they said?
Judge good behavior of an ideology. Like, well, he hasn't killed an infidel while in prison. I guess let's just take our chances.
Yeah, he's too moronic to actually get to join ISIS. He's on the wait list. Can't we just go, okay, well, no, you can't be in the population anymore.
No, you could be in the Special Olympics category.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to be in our society. Why? On account of the fact that you want to kill everyone in society. Yeah. But I'm not doing it now. We'll have to put you behind bars, so we're going to keep you there.
Yeah, it's not like he applied for a
Yeah,
desk job
but
with
there
ISIS.
are people in there.
Right. Well, you probably need a couple. Also need a matchmaker.
How can I be their accountant when I cannot account?
What if you're ISIS? You can't just swipe right. So here's what those in Germany are.
No,
very
but I can
concerned
swipe
about.
front to
They
back.
really, really wish that this guy wasn't exactly. They hoped he was white or Christian. Getting this news at the cockpit into the CSD, a man in a car. And what also shocking to me, it's the first thing I thought was, hopefully it's not a foreigner, hopefully it's a white Christian person, but it wasn't.
And you see, this has been the response of a lot of people. They hope so much that Christians will be the monsters that they see them as. And I've known a lot of awful Christians. I have. I was raised in the Bible Belt. I know a lot of people who used to use the Bible as some kind of self-elevating device, not for God, but for themselves. And a lot of those very same people are now leftists, especially the ones my age and below. It's never been about the message. It's been about power. It's been about, I'm better than you, for a lot of these people. That's not the point of religion, but that's how a lot of these people used to use the religion. And that's the really funny thing. A lot of these people have pushed people away from religion, and then when they weren't looking, those very same people have switched and are now leftist. Why? Because again, they never cared about the religion. They cared about the grift.
That's where intersectionality shows itself again. We're not all fighting the same fights, but we're here for each other.
In these moments, yes, I feel for the others. Yeah, we naturally feel... it's the right-wing forces, it is.
Queers feel threatened most by right-wing forces.
We do not want
It's a tad bit disappointing, yeah?
instrumentalized for political ends. We don't want any
I stand here with this bull-faced man and these ugly women to tell you.
and set some people against others. As the CSD in Berlin, we will not
This is
allow
actually my older brother.
So just to be clear,
His name was
you're
Hans.
not set. This is what they always, when they go, oh, they're trying to keep us fighting, man. I really hope it's a white Christian.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, it's someone who follows a religion that commands for the killing of. Let's not use this to divide, man. Please.
And that's the thing. They will use things that haven't even happened yet. Pre-crime. They will pre-crime Christians. Why? Because some of the same awful people who used to hold power in the Christian church now hold power on the left. And they are pointing them at people who they used to be allied with. Why? Again, power.
You're a white Christian. So whenever someone says, come on, let's find common ground, what they're really doing is trying to trick you. They're trying to lull you into a state of complacency. They're trying to get you to submit to their will and worldview, as opposed to the other way around. There is no common ground when it's a black or white decision. The religion of Islam that commands the subjugation and killing of anyone who doesn't play ball, or you reject it. You don't tolerate it. There's no common ground on that. But you hear that, we don't want this to be used to turn anyone against each other. It reminds me of that 1941.
No, not unless it's the Christians or the Jews.
See? Free showers.
Be nice guys.
No, it's nice. It's free showers. It's not water, but it is something.
I know it sounds sinister, but they're really saying is, oh, we hope we have a really fun time all together.
Yes, no, it will be fun for some of us. Yes.
Or disability, or Jewishness.
Maybe a little bit on the Jew.
Maybe a small bit on the Jewishness.
No, was the Jew thing on the nose? Was it on the nose? Oh, my apologies.
Jew, turn down the Judenness.
Yeah.
Some
Yes,
things
just turn it
are out
down.
of your control.
By hackers. Authorities say victims with
From big banks, rumble wall.
What they're really
I don't
saying
want
is
to
we
see
don't want
Josh
you
in
to
his
tell
underwear.
People what the threat actually is.
Right.
We don't want you to actually save people's lives. We're so bought into this worldview where they're the oppressed as well, even though they're trying to kill us and their ideology would kill us in a heartbeat if it was in charge completely. We don't want you to go out and protect other individuals. Does that make any sense to anybody? Would we do that with any other thing in society where there's a threat, like there's a snake on the loose in this studio, and I'd be like, yeah, no, don't be against the snake, you jerk. I know Steven's dead over there writhing in pain a few minutes ago. But everybody needs to be nice.
It's so petty, and it's rooted in selfishness. I think it's because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to have to be. They don't want to say that. Like, oh, you know what? I was wrong. This is a real problem. Now they're coming after my community. They can't agree with the right on it.
Right.
They can't be like, well, we were wrong. We shouldn't have been empathetic towards these people. Maybe we should draw a line. They can't do it. They can't admit they're wrong, and they can't be mean.
Yeah. I don't want you to have drag queen story hour in front of kids. And I don't think that...
No. You should not drag the kids.
Getting hitched is the same kind of a marriage as a heteronormative couple. That's your civil rights fight with me. They kill you.
No, they feel like this, right here.
Every Islamic country. By the way,
When it's not a white male who's also Christian.
So a dating app survey showed that they supported the
Possibly
AFD
Juden.
above all other parties, meaning gay German men are leaning to the right significantly.
Very far right.
Not the lesbians, though, unfortunately. There's a real divide there.
It makes sense, though. I mean,
Yes, with lesbians there are sometimes two divides.
the guys have the logical way of
That was a
thinking.
vagina joke.
You
I
know, the
apologize
logical thing
for
is that,
crassness.
LGBT is being targeted in Europe by one group and one group only.
And the Germans are relatively rational people. I mean, sometimes it gets away from them. But, like, well, you know, I thought about it, and for a while you didn't want us to get, you know, married, and we've kind of had a sore spot with that, but now we're more concerned with dying. So...
But not from AIDS.
So we'll vote for the people who don't want us to die as much. And by the way, the lady who's one of the key figures in the AFD is a lesbian.
The leader, yeah.
But she's an exception. She's an exception. Well, hopefully we'll see gay German men turn against the lesbian coalition there and start getting some things right. And by the way, as the show just started, just to be clear, people say this is an outlier. We've given you the stats. 200 million Muslims support violence against infidels or against civilians.
Wow, that's a lot. That's almost that's 2/3 of the American population.
Nationally, internationally, carried out in the name of Islam. And believe your lying eyes and ears, as the show just started, another mass stabbing just happened in Paris.
Attention! Attention! Attention!
I mean, that was... I mean, crazy that it's a mass stabbing and he does it so lackadaciously, if that's even the word. He's just like, hey, you want a little stabbings? You want some stabbings? Like, look at this. Like, I don't even know if he actually got her. But this is horrifying. The man's just running around with a big knife. Wait, why is it?
As we understand, is pregnant.
Worst mic.
Hold on. Allah told me to.
One, as we understand, is pregnant.
Worst Michael Myers impression.
Now, I want you to play that beginning half again, because you don't actually see what happened, but you know it's implied. And then I'm going to play something for you that's pretty graphic. I warn you, but this part is replay just the first portion.
See, that's crazy. He's just running, just random. Like, I don't know if he got her or not.
That's the stabbing. He just moves on. Okay, that looks exactly like this.
Oh, so he actually got her.
in the movie
Jesus.
Vigilante, where a migrant stabs someone for no reason, by the way. And the film got 10% in Rotten Tomatoes because they said, of course, this is just some kind of violence fetish where they're exaggerating and making you afraid of things that don't actually happen. So keep in mind that stabbing. I warn you, this is graphic. Kids shouldn't be watching. Here's that scene in Vigilante, the movie.
Can I now eat chocolates?
Hold on. Oh.
So that's the movie, Citizen Vigilante. That's exactly what you just saw.
The only difference is that guy was trying to hide it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yep. The only difference is that's very good.
And he only had one knife. The real guy had two. He was dual wielding.
Yeah.
Yes, double fisting, as some might say.
Even an exaggeration.
Yeah.
And that was panned by the same entertainment industry who love gratuitous violence if it's subversive. And they'll try and tell you that when it's realistic, it's just not believable.
Yeah. I think the audience score was like 91%, so they were losing that battle there. But that's...
I mean, it's a Uwe Boll movie, so it's not a good movie, but there are some really memorable scenes.
I wanted to go back to the point when you saw the guy jogging and he's like, "Attention!" He's like, "Guys, hey! It's not normal for a military-age Muslim men to be jogging down the street with a knife. You need to pay attention. You've never in the history of the world had to say that before, because people knew somebody running with a knife is a threat. I have to get out of the way. I have to pay attention to my surroundings.
He had 2 knives.
The one big one in the right hand. Sorry, I couldn't see the other one. So the one big one in the right hand when he's jogging, it's like, you've never had to do that before in history.
Admonish.
Because people knew that is a threat. Now we've conditioned them. No, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. Those guys aren't a threat.
Don't be racist.
Yeah, that is insane.
Those people wouldn't be allowed in our countries once upon a time on account of the fact that they are too knifey.
Yeah, I want if somebody sees that going on, and I don't care what the circumstances are, I want chairs broken over that guy's back. I want poles, whatever you have around to hit him and get him on the ground. I don't care if he's out selling Cutco on accident and we just got this guy on the ground. Yeah. You don't get to do that in public.
Be careful, Jared. Be careful. We at the Alfie Animus channel do not condone pre-crap.
Even entire party.
Okay, Gerald, stop.
Of their parliament there, telling women to not be afraid, trying to pacify. No, there's no reason to be afraid. Look, let me tell you, if you're in a major city, don't ever have headphones.
No.
Ever. At worst, have those open-ear headphones, which I've gotten just for even in a nice neighborhood walking Joe Louis. Open-ear headphones.
It's good, Angie. How's your day?
Never be down on your phone. Never headphones. Situational awareness. And this is in no way victim blaming, but your own government is putting you at risk, and they're lying to you. You need to be aware. I would also
and then this is absolutely true. This is why I don't go out that often. I live in one of the bigger cities in the country. I don't go out that often. I might sometimes jog around the neighborhood, but I make it very clear that I don't have any weapons on me because I look like this, basically, but slightly chubbier. This is why I don't do it. I look like Walter White. As a matter of fact, I had to buy 5 pounds of baking soda the other day because we needed it to neutralize battery acid that sometimes spills at my place of employment. And I'm bald and bearded and not as youthful as I used to be. So Walter Whitey from Breaking Bad. So I'm buying 5 pounds of baking soda. And this old black lady in front of me looks at me and she goes, and I just wanted to say, you're goddamn right. But I didn't. And then, so I was laughing, and a young guy, probably like 20-something behind the register, asked me why I was laughing, and I explained the situation to him. You know, I'm a little Walter Whitey, cocaine, baking soda. It's a thing. And I think I tasted egg and cinnamon. Anyway, but no, and then so he's like, well, what do you use it for? And I said to neutralize battery acid when it's spilled in this place that I work at. And he goes, and I said, what? He goes, yeah, science. And then I laughed because he reminded me of Jesse Pinkman. Anyway, continuing.
Also, just avoid big cities now. I'm sorry, I would in Europe, absolutely. Oh, you're still here? And you're still watching this on YouTube? You've probably noticed something is missing by now. I'm not here. That's because the live daily show...
So, real quick. To appease.
Water is fucked up, man. Why can't we wash with soda? It's the same fucking thing. It's a liquid, and it's scented.
You know, I thought being a pirate would help me understand Thor, but he's just too far gone. Bullied by a 4-year-old? What a fucking clown.
What a fucking clown.
You're promoted. Don't know why you didn't give a shit working on Borderlands, but hey, I guess cashier is...
Tard.
I've been digging for miles in the ground and still haven't seen how far Ian's career has fallen. Clearly, he's fucked.
I thought you were trying to find Nux.
This rat is my alarm clock. Once the sun heats it up enough to fill my senses with the rotting smell, I get up. Have you not tried this?
God damn it, it's June again. Break out the gimp suits and water-based lube, it's that time of year. Fuck, I hate June.
Wait, so you're just some DEI hire for this game?
Yeah, and they didn't even have the balls to admit it.
Bro, I know everything there is to know about...
I mean, that was pretty base. That was basically... my most fucked up thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows, side tangent, was that they named it Shadows and they made the main star a black dude. And also, they had watermelon everywhere, even though watermelon wasn't known to the land of Japan for, what, at least like 100 years after the events of this story were said to occur. What are we doing? Anyway.
World of Warcraft?
truly awful.
Also, how the fuck is a black dude over 6 feet tall, supposed to be assassin stealthy in Japan in, what was it, like the 1500s, 1600s, something like that? 300 years ago, when everyone was like 5'5".
Your game was like Elden Ring? Motherfucker, you can lick my brown ring, your fucked up half-aborted slop called a
Huh.
Avowed
That
wasn't
means
even
his
close to that
butthole.
level.
Okay, so that was that. I've got another surprise for you after this.
It's not racist or bigoted to point out the obvious. Terrorist attacks in cities around the world are coming generally from one source: radical Muslims. Whether they're homegrown or foreign-born, consistently, these are radicalized Western civilization-hating radical Muslims. We're bringing you the details on the attack at the Berlin Pride Parade over the weekend, plus an attack in France just this morning, the media's tepid response, and Zohar Mamdani is pushing protests as Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, arrives in New York. I'm sure that'll go great.
Ooh, grocery
Suicidal
shopping?
empathy, as Gad Saad would put it, is astounding. In New York,
Wait, suicidal empathy is who would put it?
suicidal empathy, as Gad Saad would put it, is astounding.
No. Look, I know he's trying to take your throne as top Jew on the conservative side, but Ben Shapiro. Nux taco. Say it. Say the words, Ben. Lord Nux.
Astounding.
Your time is over.
In New York, obviously there's going to be an enormous amount of unrest over the course of the coming days. Why? Because Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, he's scheduled to come into Washington, D.C. today to go to the funeral of Lindsey Graham. He's also scheduled to meet with President Trump. And then he's going to go to the UN and he's going to speak. The UN, of course, is located in New York. Zohar Mamdani, who is the terror-supporting mayor of New York.
The word is retard.
You'll recall that just a few days ago, as in like last week,
I'm gonna get him. Watch me, guys. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
And just a couple of days later, a man stabbed an Orthodox Jew on the streets of New York while shouting, "Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it."
Hold on. I saw this on House. I'm gonna trach him. Is that what he said? Oh, he said Allahu Akbar. Never mind.
Allahu Akbar. I know. You were shocked. Here is Zohar Mamdani calling for the protests. Prepare for some violence over the next few days in New York, probably.
I think one of the bedrocks of our city is protest. It is something that has been a part of what makes our city so special, that New Yorkers can express themselves whether they are in support or in opposition, no matter.
Why does he look greasy or sweaty, and this guy looks like he's been touched up with an AI filter? And probably his uncle. But anyway.
On whatever topic. And I've always said that when we respect our Constitution, we also respect our First Amendment. And here in New York City, it'll always be a place where you can exercise that.
He only cares about the one
There was a
thing
protest of
in
Zohar
the
Mamdani's
Constitution.
radicalism, which he deemed to be too right-wing, and then a radical Muslim threw a bomb at the protest. He condemned the protesters. So only certain types of protesters get that treatment from.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. And look, I do not like Jake Lang. I don't like to use the word hate, but as far as right-wing people goes, I don't think that he's right-wing. I really do. I think he's a grifter. I think he's a grifter because this is too much. He's basically Chud the Builder. But he was out there protesting, as you're allowed to do, and he wasn't even being particularly obnoxious that day. And then counter-protesters came out, and then some dude threw a really crappy improvised device and yelled Allahu Akbar over the shoulder of someone who said that we really shouldn't judge all Muslims over the acts of a few. And then one of the few threw something over his shoulder, screaming the phrase that pays.
Zohar Mamdani. By the way, the cops in New York are really ticked off about all of this, according to the New York Post. The mayor's activist posturing puts police officers on the street in a terrible position, according to NYPD
Missionary.
Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Hendry. Said protests during the UN General Assembly are nothing new. When the mayor of the city is actively calling for demonstrations, violent agitators will assume they have permission to cause as much havoc as
Andy,
possible.
you're going to ruin the
And those
surprise.
agitators know the NYPD's protest response is already hamstrung by the dangerous lawsuit settlement the city signed over the Police
I have it
Benevolent
right here.
Association's opposition. The mayor's heated rhetoric could be enough to push demonstrations over the edge into chaos. That could very well happen. And of course, we've been watching as the Intifada gets globalized. Remember that many people on the Democratic left were perfectly fine, including Mamdani, with globalize the Intifada. The Intifada is a reference to the uprising. It is a violent terrorist assault on Israel. There were two of them. One of them happened in the late 80s. One of them happened in the early 2000s. both at the cost of lives. The one in the early 2000s at the cost of hundreds of lives.
Yeah, globalize the
empanada
empanada.
all over the map, and it's happening.
Enchilada.
People being attacked in New York City while shouting Allahu Akbar, the suspect shouting Allahu Akbar. And then over the weekend, a car plowed into a crowd at a Berlin Pride event. Okay, this is according to the New York Times.
It was a white car.
A car plows into crowd. Do we know the car's political or religious persuasion?
It was a white car.
Can we guess?
I don't know who was in it, but the car was white, damn it.
A car plowed through a park.
I don't know if it was.
Biggest LGBTQ pride event on Saturday, killing at least one person in what the police said was a suspected act of terrorism. And the police said the suspected attack happened shortly before 10 p.m. in the Tiergarten, a major park in the city center, and that a hunt for a suspect or suspects was underway after the vehicle was found crashed into a tree and abandoned. At least 16 people had injuries, some life-threatening. Apparently, the suspect, known as Abdul Balout, it turns out. It turns out that he was hacking at people with a machete. And then he ran away, and then they caught him, and then he got killed. Well, his story is somewhat indicative of a West that is committing cultural suicide, cultural and political suicide. Folks, one thing I've learned is that the more technology advances, the more we all have to pay attention to how it's being used. History is filled with people who built sophisticated fraud and then, after signature, create fake documents. Promo code Ben to get started.
I had a feeling that was a...
From BBC, PBS...
Yeah, no, that was a surprise.
Various sources. Here is the story, okay? This person was born in Berlin. Of course. Birthright citizenship for the win. Abdul Balout's mother was naturalized in 2002. That was 3 years before he was born. He then left Germany for Lebanon.
It was a long pregnancy.
With the intention of crossing into Syria to join ISIS. He was arrested in
Wow.
Lebanon, where a Lebanese military court tried and sentenced him to 3 months in prison for incitement to religious conflict. So he completed his sentence in Lebanon, and then he returned to Germany, where he was arrested upon arrival to Berlin. He was convicted by a Berlin juvenile court of preparing an act of state-endangering violence and spreading ISIS propaganda. He was sentenced to 1 year and 10 months, but public prosecutors considered the sentence too lenient. They appealed the decision. But here's the hilarious part. So they said, he's not in jail for long enough, but wait for German law. So here's how German law works. He was released while awaiting appeal.
What?
Okay, so he was supposed to be in jail, and the prosecutors appealed for a longer sentence, and the Germans released him while awaiting appeal for a sentence that had already been given to him. And during that time, when he was awaiting appeal, he decided...
And no. See, hey, good morning, Yunuka. See, on this, I've never understood this. If someone is truly dangerous, you hold them in jail while they're awaiting their sentence. Especially, I don't know why they would... I don't know if you should appeal something to give them a longer sentence. Like, I understand when to give them a longer sentence, and I applaud Germany for being based. But at the same time, what is your legal strategy here? Like, why would you release them? And then after you release them, this happens. This is on you. This is on you.
It'd be a great idea to rent a white van and run down a bunch of gay people at the LGBTQ...
See, I told you it was white.
Plus minus divided by sign protest. The Berlin Pride organizers, and again, suicidal empathy, as Gad Sad would put it here, is insane. Berlin Pride organizers then got up and said, we would not want, we would hate for this entire situation to be used as a political talking point.
They literally do this. Look, every time anything goes wrong, anytime Christians or the Jews are doing anything, sometimes even when they're not doing anything, they just sit there and they look all Christian-y, Jewy. That's enough for some people to denounce the whole faith. But Muslims, you get all these people doing things that never happen, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, we can't judge the whole of these religions. That would be like bad. That would be bigoted.
You know how pathetic you have to be when radical Muslims...
Literally just, look, and I'm not even of the mindset that the whole religion's bad, because I've known plenty of, let's face it, secular Muslims who are good people. Mostly because they've mostly left the religion.
Who call for your extermination. Attack and kill some of you. And your first response is, we must not. label people like the attacker what they are. We must be very careful this does not turn political. My goodness, this is civilization in a state of collapse.
Our basic approach
Oh, hell
has
yeah.
not changed.
I'd love to join.
Reject all forms of violence. Ideologies, be they religious or other extremists, are trying to suppress people.
Yeah, no, we've seen this. This is the ugly bull-faced man, and these are two very hideous women. Look at this one.
We don't want
She's so put out.
under suspicion for this.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But all too believable, obviously. And the globalized intifada isn't limited to New York or Berlin. It's also happening in France. Just this morning, a pregnant woman was among 3 injured in a Paris attack as a knifeman was heard shouting, wait, you're not going to believe what he was shouting. You're not going to believe it. It was go Knicks. It was not go Knicks. It was, Allah ordered me to do it. I can't believe it. It is the most shocking news since it's not shocking. 2 of the 3 victims have been left severely wounded from the horror stabbing.
Yeah, do you know what we do to the Christian people who say that you should do things in the name of God? Yeah, we put them in jail or in mental institutions, okay? When they tell you to do the cutting and the shooting and all the dismembering, yeah, we put them in mental institutions. Why don't we do that with the other ones?
3 women aged 19,
Sorry.
24, and 36 were attacked with 2 kitchen knives, according to Interior Minister Laurent Nunez. 2 of the victims who were taken to the hospital remaining critical. 1 woman was hit in the lower back while the other was hit in the abdomen. And the perpetrator was on the ground. And here's a clip of the perpetrator. I'll read you the translation by ViceGrad24. He doesn't know what he is doing, so someone says, Allah ordered me. Someone says there's no Allah, bro. He says, Wallah, we must stampede this.
You know what's extra? Hold on. You know what's extra funny? He kind of looks like Bernard the house elf. From, hold on, what's that guy's name? What's his real name? David Krumholtz. I mean, I know he's Jewish, but hold on. Tell me this guy doesn't.
Someone says there's no Allah, bro. He says,
okay. Kind of, sort of. I don't know. It's like he's trying to portray a new role because he's from Hollywood, and they hate themselves. Anyway.
Wallah, we must stampede this son of a bleep.
Great actor, though.
He's crazy. Crazy doesn't mean anything. This woman says, stab my girl. He says, Allah ordered me. Allah ordered me. Yeah. Weird how that works. Probably.
Yeah, the devil made me do it.
Or make more room for all of that. Or, call for gigantic protests against Jews in New York City, which is what, obviously, this week will turn into.
Which is usually what it turns into. But anyway, so we're going to jump on to the Clit Squad.
Unbelievable. What do you do? Unbelievable. What do you do?
Oh my god. Why is it smog a lot now?
Dog. That's whack.
Okay, I've actually watched some Powder since we saw Powder introduced in these. I don't understand why they think Powder's black. Banana Juju. Where's that tail coming out of? Who the fuck is that? I felt like she shot at me. Why does she drink Stolies? Why is Banana Juju? That kills me. Oh, she joked about it? Okay. I'm Powder, the blackest. Really? Interesting. I mean, maybe she is. I don't know. She could be black, or maybe she's mixed. Maybe she's one of them light-skinneds. Why is this coming up that way? Why is there two of her?
So kawaii, so mean. Sending them back where the Ganges is green. Idle power. Deportation power. 1, 2, 3, 4. No more open door. Banana Juju peels the scammers apart. Celestian beams while she breaks every heart. Of the call center kings and the 7-Eleven clerks. Smug Alana laughs as the paperwork burns. Powder and leaflet just dance on the dirt.
What? Hold on. Okay, I only caught it at a glance. Choking parrot, I'm quoting AI pattern. Oh, okay. Where's Frogan? I heard she lost a lot of weight, so she might be finding it. This feels very much like the show Archer, which I absolutely love. Banana Juju's from Africa, is she? Right on. Is she a fat future amputee here? Like, what's... I've never watched any of her content, but I do follow her on X, just because she's became prominent recently with all the anti-AI stuff. Oh, South Africa, yes. Die on the toilet, street shitter night. Okay. And why do they do that to Smug Alana? See, I gotta watch a couple of these people's contents because that sounded invasive. But I gotta watch some of their content because I don't know why they make them look like old, like top of Gen Xers, the end of Boomer drug addicts. I mean, it's hilarious. Oh, she's from there, but she doesn't live there? Okay. Okay, so that was the newest from Dong P Bongwater. It's called the CLIT Squad, the VTube Clit Squad. Yeah, that's a thing that just happened. Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit of conspiracy theory and why one conspiracy theory, for some reason, reigns supreme on YouTube at the very least.
Let me pull in this tweet and then I'll talk about it. Right?
I don't do a lot of Tim Pool because they go off on a lot of tangents. But I found this one to be kind of interesting, and I didn't get to finish it, so.
So I said, if you want to get amplified on YouTube and X, all you need to do is claim the official story of Charlie Kirk's assassination is a cover-up and there's a conspiracy. Why is social media amplifying this so much? Why does big tech want this narrative to be front and center? Alex Jones made claims about Sandy Hook and was destroyed. His company sold off to try to humiliate him. What's the difference? You can claim one story is true, but the other results in your company's total annihilation. YouTube has rules around conspiracies. Specifically, they restrict conspiracy claims and amplify what they call authoritative news sources. Why is YouTube boosting these videos in the algorithm? Why does the machine want this narrative so badly? Contrast this with COVID.
I need to actually start posting news. Yeah, no Frogan on this one, unfortunately. But there may have been a slug in the background somewhere. We'll go through and deep dive sometime. but I need to post on X more so I can go back and quote myself. I don't know. I find my postings interesting and funny, but apparently not many people do.
Demonetized instantly if you talked about COVID in the early days. We couldn't even read news reports out of China that discussed the basics. Now let me stress, in January of 2020, on my Timcast channel, we saw videos of people in China collapsing. I saw a news report. It was not big news. And I said, I'll do a video about this. Sounds interesting. I got an email from YouTube, a rep, saying, you cannot cover this, and demonetize the video. No joke. And I went, wow. Well, you know what I'm going to do?
I guess you're onto something.
No, I just said, they were like, we don't want sensationalism and fear and panic. I said, well, I'm going to cover the news, even if I lose the money. So I kept reporting on it. When it popped up, by March, it was a big story in the United States. During this period, for 2 years, if you said definitively that the virus came from the Wuhan lab, demonetized, strike, removed, YouTube came out and said, we have a new policy in place. Only authoritative news sources will appear in search on these topics. Overnight, they erased podcasts. Alex Jones is not allowed to have a channel. He can't even have a new channel. His transgression was so severe, he is never allowed to have a social media channel on YouTube ever again.
And you know what's really fucked up about that? What he got taken down for was nowhere near as bad as the stuff that gets put out on a daily basis on TikTok or by Candace Owens or by a lot of people on a lot of platforms, by Hassan Piker on Twitter. Nowhere near as bad. And nowhere near as conspiratorial, to be completely honest. But
yet, despite the fact that if it comes to climate change, flat Earth, hollow Earth, geocentrism, YouTube explicitly states all of these will be deranked, demonetized, and they will put corrections under every single one. But not the Charlie Kirk conspiracies.
Why don't
those have a free pass?
Why?
Did you have an answer to your own question?
I can say this. I can peddle in speculation, for which I believe that, sure, it's fine. Everyone's allowed to present their hypotheses. What I can say is there is no definitive understanding as to why YouTube and lesser X, because Elon allows a lot of things on X, but why it is that YouTube has look, I'll put it this way. It's not just a lack of restrictions, it's promotion. The RPMs on content related to Erica Kirk and the Charlie Kirk assassination conspiracy theories rivals that of finance, the most lucrative sector in advertising.
Why?
I don't know.
So look, it's always the simple answer. I'm going to go out there on a limb, Tim. It hurts the right. It's right on right. It's right on right violence. The lefties aren't arguing about Charlie Kirk. They don't care. They're glad he's gone.
Yeah.
But no, they're loving it as well because it hurts the right.
It hurts the right.
Because here's the way it works. And I would say this is an excellent hypothesis. For a lot of these people on the right, they are grifters. No joke. I believe there is a tendency on the left, or I should say it's a generality on the left and a tendency on the right. That's about right.
No, the left is committed to what they believe.
Some people on the right
the algorithm
are grifters.
Yeah.
Most people on the left I would describe as grifters.
Yep.
Meaning that many of these liberals that claim to want to debate, you have to pay them. They're not interested in actually an ideology, they're interested in their jobs. Whereas people on the right are begging to espouse their ideology. But this does mean that there are many people on the right who are grifters. Now here's the exploit. Create a lucrative path, but that path is insanity and absurdity, and you will drive all of the grifters in that direction, and it will cause a rift among the right instead of unity on the right.
If you take away, Libby, I know you're going to back me on this. If you take away Israel and Charlie Kirk, what does Candace have to talk about?
Ryan Reynolds.
Macron?
yeah, Brigitte Macron's penis.
Yeah, Le Pen's going to be running France, please God.
And who is Ryan Reynolds' wife?
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, Candace's big thing.
Blake Lively.
The actress that
I don't know why he says Ryan like that, but
Sue Justin Baldoni. I even know.
Yeah.
Lively?
Yes.
Lively?
That was her big thing.
Blake Lively.
And then she did the Macron stuff, and then we get the Charlie stuff. And it's just every day it one-ups the absurdity and the lies and the manipulations. And what they do is, I have no problem with anyone asking questions about the Tyler Robinson, how he did it, who else may have been involved. There's a lot of evidence and loose ends that have not been tied up. And we have no obligation to just believe whatever it is the FBI or law enforcement is telling us. I want to see the evidence. So present for me anything positive, and we'll go in that direction.
There
what
was like
they'll
20
do is
hours of evidence presented during the preliminary hearing.
Indeed. Yeah. And so I think it's fair to say that we have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, at least in my opinion, presented to the public, that Tyler Robinson is the assassin. However, I also think there's other people involved. I think we've got loose ends that we can't account for, and I think those questions are fine and fair. That being said, the narratives that we've gotten, I think it was Robbie Starper put out a great video, it was an hour long, where he broke down...
Love Robbie.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories from 7 months ago, they're all pretending like they never said. And now they've got the man in the bushes.
Right.
What about the man in the bushes? There was a bush, remember? Oh, but actually Charlie was killed by the lav mic. But there was a man in the bushes with a gun.
It's self-exploding, yeah.
It's because... Well, I'm just asking questions. Right, the problem is the questions imply. So Brett Weinstein got a lot of flack because he said, why the cover-up? Implying there is one.
Right.
When there's no evidence of one.
There hasn't been any indication that there's a cover-up. Everything has been so open.
There are unanswered questions.
You're bringing up a very important point about why isn't the conspiracies from months ago? It's the same thing.
They've been erased.
Because that you got your algorithm boost from doing that. That's over. You got to find a new outrage. Isn't it that simple?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what they do. They just go around and find the newest outrage, and they grift on it. Candace Owens just makes it up. Which is the most baffling part, that she makes up so much. Every single thing that she ever talks about is a lie. And she's probably one of the most popular people on YouTube. At least as far as the political sphere goes.
I think...
I mean, you can go look at every single court document that's been filed. You just create an account with the Utah court. I have access to it right now.
Here's what I said earlier today when I was talking about this drowning scripters. When the Covington kids 7 years ago, was it 7 years ago? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, something like that.
When that video went viral, and there were even conservatives condemning this kid.
Yeah.
And he was just standing there. He didn't say a word.
I got sent these videos, and I was told, like, bro, you see this? You got to call this kid out. And I said, I don't understand what's happening.
What did he do?
And they were like, he's got in the face of this Native American, and he's
literally
smirking at him.
standing there.
And I responded, this is a video of two people standing in front of each other. I don't know who did what. Most people jump the gun and just assume this young kid, this teenager, got in his face.
What did they say? They said he had a smackable face. They said he was...
They were going to punch him. But we found the video, the full live stream video, and then I made a segment. I was like, this is what really happened. The Native American walked up to him. I do not come out and just say a thing is because everyone says a thing is. And so what's happening now with all of this stuff, I still will not do it. I will not come out and say, this is true, that is true, or otherwise. But because they're getting clicks, because YouTube is promoting it, and they're getting massive ad dollars from it, people don't care what's true, they're going after what makes money.
You know, Lucas...
Speaking of not caring about what's true, this is what happens when a black dude masturbates in front of kids in Italy. Right here. And after a black dude is shot using a knife to wound a cop, we won't be silent while our neighbors are gunned down. Like, what are we even talking about here? I could understand if this was the way that people are portraying it. But the fact that someone assaulted a cop and was then gunned down, and people think that that's okay, that that's perfectly fine, that he was taken too soon. You're delusional. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Seriously, guys, I don't understand. I'm going to start doing a segment called My Friends in Real Life. And I'm going to keep their names off of it, but it's just going to be their real Facebook post. Again, I'm not going to put their names on it, but these are people who I've been fond of in the past. I love them to death. Some of them mean a lot to me. But I don't know if it's just because we're from a small town and we don't have anything. So we just latch on to whatever seems the coolest to us or whatever seems like the thing to do. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people do this. which is why I moved the hell out of that town. But even the ones that left, a lot of them, still do this. And me, I'm just sitting here like, you guys are nuts. But I'm not allowed to say it because it's not PC. It's not politically correct. But hate crime motive unknown. Yeah, that's accurate. Okay, so let's scroll down. This was interesting to me, and
after this move.
Oh, jeez.
It was the most terrifying moment in the entire history of the sport. After this move, the
Was it,
entire
though?
hall froze for 5 minutes. On that day, a terrible tragedy happened to this young girl. From the first seconds
that's not a tragedy. I don't know if that move is allowed, but it seems very effective.
of the fight, the girl in the white kimono dominated her opponent. On her part, the athlete in the blue kimono tried several times to perform a forbidden move. Earlier, she had already tried to perform a forbidden throw, but every time the referee stopped her, announcing remise. At the decisive
And this is for two things. One, this is why there needs to be some kind of weight or size class or categories when it comes to a lot of these things, which there are. But this is why you need to stick to them, even if these kids are the same age. That black girl's way smaller. So I understand why she's doing the latching method, but it's annoying.
moment, when she realized that she would no longer be able to win, she consciously performed the forbidden move. She threw her opponent
It seems effective. I'm just saying,
After
like,
the fall, the young girl remained lying on the floor, and from her facial expression, it was obvious how much pain.
and she wasn't this person wasn't really doing that good a job. She just latched around her, and that was it.
She was in. After the crack that sounded during the fall, it could be seen from the face of the athlete in the blue kimono, the one who performed the forbidden throw, that she was.
Stop calling it the forbidden throw. Okay, you sound
in complete
retarded.
shock. She could not imagine that such a tragedy would happen. As a result of this accident, the young girl had to.
This is retarded. I hate when they add all that shit. Oh wait, no, not that one. Okay, let's see what this one is.
No, but look at what the Democrats are doing. What are they gonna do? They want fucking women to have kill the babies up front. Why do you come up to me and fucking say that to me? Get the fuck away from me. Hey, you need. Get the fuck away from me. You need to come. Get the fuck away from me. You are a very aggressive person.
You came up to this guy. You did. You came up to him.
Doesn't matter where I go, I'm not taking this hat off. You will not intimidate me.
Oh my god, you will not intimidate me, guys. You won't do it. You won't do it. You won't intimidate me. You won't do it. Oh yeah, never forget. One of Anthony Fauci's biggest disciples, Gavin Newsom, had people arrested for paddleboarding at the beach in California during COVID. Yeah, he can't get near the White House. He's too impressionable. Here's another video somewhere in Europe. I will say, she's got that grip. Absolutely crazy. For those of you that didn't know, the Cracker Barrel, the lady, the CEO that rebranded Cracker Barrel from this with, personality to this with no personality. Yeah, she stepped down. Oh boy. To brokenness leads. Angel Reese. I knew I'd seen that outfit before. I hate these kids. I know I don't like to say I hate, but I genuinely hate these kids. All I want is someone to just chokeslam these kids. Just throw them on the ground. Put your body in position and throw them down. Hey, these kids are losers, man. This is, I mean, they're just going to be arrested in a couple of years anyway. Who cares? Naked dude running through the streets of Africa or of Ireland, threatening people, apprehended by the public. This is good shit. This is good shit. Just watch out for that one British cop because she will tase all the white people. Breaking, and this is something to do with our story earlier. Germany to consider banning judges from giving terrorists suspended sentences after it was revealed the Berlin Islamic car attacker previously was given a suspended sentence after being found guilty of trying to join ISIS. What are we doing? Question in the chat. Should you legally be allowed to drive through crowds if you feel that your life is in danger? I would go so far as to say people have to work, and just like Bill Maher once said, there's nothing more privilegey than you being not at work on a weekday, especially during rush hour, blocking especially interstates, but main roads. Come on, it's absolutely insane. Chunky Yogurt said Ben Shapiro's really angry that the news is reporting that we're running out of interceptor missiles. If we found out how much America will get damaged and how many of our troops will get killed, we might not continue this war for Israel. How dare you mislead people? No, it's not that you're wanting to mislead people. It's that you're not trying to tell our enemies that we're out of interceptor missiles or running low or whatever. This isn't a war for Israel, Chunky Yogurt. Okay. This is absolutely insane. Oh, Joey Swole doing more things. I didn't mean to save that. Oh, this is interesting. This is in the Middle East. No, it's actually in England.
What is this for? Say again. 10th day. Okay, what's it? Islamic something, is it? It's like a religious pilgrimage.
This is them asserting dominance. This is nothing else.
Yeah, okay. Perfect, thank you.
Are they wearing masks? Oh, no, they just the light.
Yes, boss man.
On their faces.
Yes.
God will fill the earth with justice and equity through through the Medi, as it will be filled with oppression and injustice. Huh. The10thday.com. Careful, she's probably behind you, ready to strike. And look, these people trying to get to work. Absolutely insane. Again, this is them establishing dominance. Hassan Piker trying to cope. 7 years ago, I said, we brought 9/11 upon ourselves. 7 years ago, I apologized for my language. Since then, I've helped a 9/11 first responder elected into get a 9/11 first responder elected into office, which you guys also called a terrorist because he's Muslim. I don't think Zionists care about 9/11 beyond fomenting Islamophobia. No, you've actually recently doubled down on that. That you think, because you put up the 9/12 newspaper in your background. You're transparent, dude. Just because your followers are retarded enough to believe your bullshit, or at least help you propagate your bullshit, doesn't mean the rest of us are. Jack White admitting that he has TDS. It's very nice. I like this guy. I just started following this guy. I found him on X. So you're gonna kill our jobs in industries like Hollywood? Yeah. No, kill that one dead. All right, we already covered that one. What time is it? I don't know who does all these Family Guy ones. Oh, here we go. Oh, motherfucker. I mean, that's accurate. That's accurate. To them, at least. To them. And this is the three, you know, that mysterious man, people will call him white as well, stabbing a Jewish man, screaming Allahu Akbar after Mandani's speech. Clearly something in that speech made him feel the need to get a little stabby. You know, normally people just applaud. Yeah, this was found to be false, actually. That's something else. Also, I want to point out how much this band sucks. At least the singer. Why is this guy the singer?
Will it buy you forgiveness?
Will it buy you forgiveness?
Because I think you will find when your death takes its toll.
That's Seth Rogen.
All the money that you made will never buy back your soul.
Yeah, that band sucks. As someone who used to go to Warped Tour a lot and listen to a lot of the bands, punk rock, ska, whatnot, Warped Tour has not been good for at least 20 years at all. Pretty much since Good Charlotte became a thing. But yeah, the Tates were manipulating weak minds for profit. Listen to this email. To which I said, I know another set of brothers who manipulate weak minds for profit. Wonder who I'm talking about. But yeah, guys, that's what? Sorry, I'm a little out of it. I need to maybe have a whole cup of coffee before I start this show. But like I said, again, I am going to, within the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to make some changes in my professional life. But it will allow me to work on the show more without having to worry about money for the time being. But I will be able to do more research. I will be able to work on the show a little bit more so I can utilize some of the little gadgets that I have here that I've acquired over the last couple of years. But I am going to put more effort into the show. I know I keep promising, but it's actually going to happen. I've got some potential things in the work, possibly maybe a collab or two. I don't know. I've met a couple people. We'll see how they feel after getting to know me a little bit more. But some potentially good things, but some actual good things also. So things to look forward to. I am going to get back into the gaming side of things. There's a couple I want to play. I really want to play The Witcher on stream again. And a couple other things, but again, just some things that will primarily, I'll put those probably on all three. I'll put those on Twitch. Okay, see, I asked just to add you to the committee. Really awesome. Hey, thanks, Shinuka. I appreciate you, man. And I don't know what I'd do without the two of you guys. I really don't. You guys are awesome. You're a great jumpstart to my day, and I very much appreciate you. But until next time, guys, this is Alfie Animus for the Associated Guests.